Hotep Mowit Hinu Dua Naturo. You may already know Unk Uja Sinup. You may already know that means pretty much content, everything is good, and love, praise, and thanks to nature. And Unk Uja Sinup means life, prosperity, and health. This video speaking about our ancient Kemetic, ancient Egyptian ancestors number system, and how the number system looks and everything, and how it works or whatnot. Okay, we'll just go to Google real quick and see and search for ancient Egyptian number system and just see what they say about it and everything. Here goes a site that comes up speaking about the ancient Egyptian number system. This is one of the first sites I went to just to pretty much see what they discovered when they looked at the ancient texts and ancient pyramids and everything. A lot of times they don't really fully understand why or how, or they don't understand what's really going on, but they can look at the basics and they can say that they can see a river is a river, they can see a fish is a fish, or a frog is a frog. They can see stuff like that, but they don't really understand the deeper meaning as to what is really going on in life or whatnot. Okay, but we'll just see what they seen first, and then we'll pretty much go into looking at it outside of without
The ancient Egyptians, possibly the first civilization to practice the scientific arts. Indeed, the word chemistry is derived from the word alchemy, which is the ancient name for Egypt. Where the Egyptians really excelled was in medicine and applied mathematics. But although there is a large body of papyrus literature describing their achievements in medicine, there are no records of how they reached their mathematical conclusions. Of course, they must have had an advanced understanding of the subject, because their exploits in engineering, astronomy, and administration would not have been possible without it. The Egyptians had a decimal system using 7 different symbols. 1 is shown by a single stroke. 10 is shown by a drawing of a hobble for cattle. 100 is represented by a coil of rope. 1000 is a drawing of a lotus plant. 10,000 is represented by a finger. 100,000 by a tadpole or frog. 1 million is the figure of a god with arms raised above his head. Click the image above to download images. The conventions for reading and writing numbers is quite simple. The higher number is always written in front of the lower number, and where there is more than one row of numbers, the reader should start at the top. Okay, well they pretty close to being right, but they not well, they not even really like as far as like they write about numbers or whatnot, but they're not right about what the symbols are. Like they say that a 10 is shown by a hobble for cattle. We'll just go and ask Google what is a hobble for cattle. It's some type of thing that that they put shackles around cow's feet or something like that. Then they say the 100 symbol is a coil of rope. Like I'm gonna go here, a hobble for cattle. See, this is something that they put like some shackles they put around the a horse's feet or cow feet or whatnot. And then they think that this right here, they think this is the symbol for 10, a hobble for cattle, but that's one of the things that they kind of got wrong or whatnot. Then the other one, they say that the 100 symbol is representing a coil of rope, which is also wrong. But here it is, like right here, well, this upside down inverted U, they calling that a hobble for cattle. And the 100 symbol right here, which once I seen this 100 symbol, I pretty much instantly knew that that had to be a Fibonacci
spiral. And I went to pretty much go and test and see how is this spiral related to how is 100, the number 100. Why did our ancestors make this the symbol for 100, a Fibonacci spiral? And why is this inverted loop the number for 10? And once we go to look at that to see why is that, then here we go, pull up a Fibonacci spiral here. Alright, this is the Fibonacci spiral that you may already know and everything. And we got, usually, you know, the Fibonacci numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. We ain't really talking about the Fibonacci numbers right now. What we're talking about is how did our ancestors, where did they get their inverted U? And where we can see the inverted U at is right here. Going from here over to here is a U shape. Pretty much it's a U shape. Once you, you see here it's a U shape right from there going over here. It's a U shape. That's what we seen over there. The U, they call that a hubble for cattle, but it's actually something from the Fibonacci spiral, that U shape, which over here they were calling it a hubble for cattle, but it's actually the Fibonacci. It's actually the start of a Fibonacci spiral. And then once we go from there, we see the rest of it. The symbol for 100 is, once you go around here, then all the way around here, then all the way up here, and then stop at about right here. That right there is the symbol for 100. And here it is right here. We see it, the symbol for 100. Our ancestors say that's the symbol for 100. And then we just ask, like, why would our ancestors say that? Why would our ancestors make that the symbol for 100? And here's the answer why. Like, we see with us, like, this is the start of life right here, and the beginning of the Fibonacci spiral. It's pretty much the beginning of life, or the simplest start of life is right here. And once you go up here, this is the first point. You go from here to here. That's about half of life right there, which is 0.5 or 5. And then you go from here to here, then that's a pretty much a whole life. Like, on this plane right here, now you got 2 points on this plane. And obviously, like, in life, in order to get motion, in order to get something alive, in order to see something active, you need 2 of them. Like, if there's only one thing existing in the universe, then you can't, then it's actually not alive, because it can't move. If you can't move, then it's not really alive. You need at least 2 in order to be able to detect movement. Like, if you can't see any planets, like if Earth was the only thing in the universe, there was no other planets or stars or moons or anything, then we wouldn't be able to tell which direction Earth is moving, or if it's moving at all, there would be no movement. So you need 2 points in order to actually get something to exist, to get something to move. So this right here is first of all, that's the 0.5, is half of it. Then the other 0.5 is the other half of it, which together, 5 and 5, you end up with 10 or whatnot. And then that's why our ancestors said this loop right here is 10. This inverted U is a number 10. And if we go and starting off with that this square right here is actually worth 5. 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 . 5 And then this other square right here is worth another 5. This is how much area is done covered. 5 and 5, which is 10. The U equals 10, or the inverted U equals 10. The upside down U equals 10. Then, so if each of these squares, this one's 5 and this one 5, then how many squares will we have if we get all the way up here? Like if we go around here, they say that this is 100 once you get here. So once you get over there, it should be about 100 then. So we'll add the other squares into here, just to start counting. And that's exactly what we discovered, that our ancestors, the Fibonacci spiral, once it gets to this point up here, then what you would have is 100. Because now you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 55, 50. It adds up to 100 once you get over here. You see we got a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then each one of them equals 5. So then that's pretty much 4 times 5 times another 5 equals 100. And that's what the U is the 10, which is 2 of these squares, and the 100 is a next stage of the pretty much at the 100 stage of the Fibonacci spiral. Once it breached this level right here, then it's 100 in the Fibonacci spiral. And that's what we see here. When we look at this spiral, we see that is exactly what this picture is. It's actually going around, and then it's breaching this level right here, which is going over into the 100 square, or 100 area that is covering or whatnot. So that's pretty much showing like why our ancestors had those symbols as the numbers. Why the upside down U is the number 10, because they will represent 5 here and 5 there. And then why the Fibonacci spiral, once it's reach over here, then it's 100, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly it's showing an exact picture of the number itself in real life, how it would happen with the Fibonacci spiral, and how much area it would be covering at that point, which is 100 different which is 100 is the amount. I mean, once you if each one of these equal 5, then you'll be done got to 100. And that's pretty much those are those first 2 numbers. But then we got the other numbers here. The number 1,000, which is right here, which is a lotus flower, which I agree with them on that. It's pretty much a flower. And then this one here is a finger, then a frog, and then a god or a netager, which is pretty much just showing like that the levels of life keep on getting a little bit more and more complex. Like the flower is a more simpler, just it's a plant life. Then on the next level, like 1,000 is a plant life. Then 10,000 is a organ, or is a part of a body. And then 100,000 is a whole body. Is a frog. It's a full organism. It's a full living organism now, and a full like life form that's able to, with eyeballs, able to look around and move itself and think and do all type of stuff or whatnot, and got muscles and all that. And then once you get over here to 1,000,000, then it's a whole god, which is the pretty much, it's just showing like the different levels of life, where how it which is showing us also like the levels of our life. When we look at the start of it, it may just be a inverted U, or the start of it just may be a line, eventually it becomes the inverted U, then it's a whole Fibonacci spiral at 100, then 1,000 it could be plant life, then At 10,000, it can be a body part or a piece of a body, just part of a body. And then at 100,000, it's a full organism, a full with eyeballs and a full body. And then at a million, it's actually has become a god or a nature or a goddess or a full complex, like a full well, pretty much a god or a goddess or whatnot. So it's pretty much showing like the different levels of life and how it start out as one, then the Fibonacci spiral keeps on growing and growing and becoming more and more complex, or becoming a more advanced higher levels of life or whatnot coming together. And that's pretty much what our ancestors were showing with the number system and everything, that from life start out here, it can start out as just a single line or just a single point, and then it go on to make the U shape. Then the whole Fibonacci, we see a Fibonacci spiral has formed right here. And then at that point, if each one of these equal 5, then that would mean that the area that is covering now is 100. And if each one of these equal 5, then the area is covering right now is 10. So we see that here, we see 5 and 10, then 100, and then that's just a Fibonacci spiral, just the kind of the start of life. And then we go from there to on to actual plant life, then a part of a body's body part or organ, which is a union of life, but it's not a whole. It's just this right here is a finger, and it's not a whole body, but it's a part of a body or whatnot. And then here we got a whole body, and then here we have the God, the Natur, the all, the creator and everything, which is a creator creates many different bodies or whatnot. So each one of these, and then also we can see that these so pretty much we can see that the life grows into this level, whatnot, or it goes from the simplest level on up to the more complex level, where we actually have the Natur, the gods, which are okay, that's pretty much showing like the Kemetic number system and everything, and how our ancient ancestors. And the benefit of this is that it actually shows us how to actually grow with nature, and how to develop with nature, how to develop in a natural way. It shows us how we can get from being just a one. We can go from just being a one to being a little bit more complex. Just learn a little bit more, develop a little bit more, progress a little bit more, push a little bit more, and just keep on developing. Pretty soon you'll inverted U. Then pretty soon you're Fibonacci spiral, and pretty soon you about the complexity of a plant. Then pretty soon you about complexity of a organ or a finger or part of a body, and then pretty soon you'll be a whole body. And pretty soon you'll be a god, where your complexity level is a whole lot or your the different parts of you that come together form intelligence level that's pretty high, whatnot. And that's the difference. That's the benefits of it. It's a whole mental programming that they put into you, where you learn that you can actually go from being a one to being a god, opposed to a number system that goes just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or whatnot. And with those, if you only just see these numbers or whatnot, 3 and 2 and 4, and then a 5 or something like that, then it's almost like, how did 5 get to being 5 or whatnot, or how did 6 get to being 6? Or how did 7 get to being 7? It doesn't really show you. It doesn't really tell a story of how these things formed or how they developed. It's more like just our math teacher said that 78 equals 78, and it doesn't really show a story of what 78 is. It's just a 7 and an 8, and we just go with that because that's what our math teacher said, and we really got no other choice but to listen to them, because they got the the weapons and stuff, and you really can't get away from them is without the police coming at you and trying to force you to get into their school and all that type of stuff. This is so different, where it's not more about authority trying to tell you something and force you to believe something. This is more just showing you the natural development of life and how it actually really goes, and how you can also just develop over time. Just develop with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you see this 6 right here, it's easy to see how 6 became 6. It's easy to see how 7 became 7, because you see it's 7 different strokes in there, and they pretty much work their way up to 7 by making 7 different strokes. And then at 10 is actually the beginning of the Fibonacci spiral, and then 100 is a Fibonacci spiral. So it's pretty much showing you that nature and how nature develops and grows. So that's pretty much how this number system is, how the benefits of it is good for us, because when we developing and we claiming and we building and whatnot, this is actually the way that we develop and the way that we build, opposed to the way of just Frederick said that a 7 is a 7 and you have to believe him, and you pretty much have no real reference or no real solid foundation why 7 represents 7. It's just because some guy said it, and now everybody else have to do what that guy said because that guy's in the book and you not. But here is actually real representation from nature and how this actually happens, and it's not just some guy's ego, some guy's ego who said it and whatnot. It's more like it's actually showing real representation of nature and how the Fibonacci spiral forms, and the lotus plant, and a body part and a full body, and then the more complex is the God, and how the God is because with us, a lot of times our gods and goddesses, as far as, like, let's just say for example Asar is actually the what scientists today call it the Orion star constellation. The Orion star constellation actually has planets and stars, and it's actually it actually has the Fibonacci spiral inside of the star constellations, and it's actually something that developed over time. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not just the ego thing. It's actually something that's been developing for billions of years. And if you wanted to, you can pretty much get gases or whatnot. And as far as you on a spiritual level, you can take your spirit into a level where there's clouds of gas floating around in space now that gonna form into stars or whatnot. And on a spiritual level, you can pretty much go and put your awareness into that, and you can become a whole star system if you want to. But as far as just focusing your awareness on that or whatnot, if you wanted to. As of now, we kind of focusing our awareness on human civilization and developing human civilization or whatnot, but and getting humanity to serve the universe and serve nature and everything like that, and being humans is what we choosing to focus our consciousness into right now. But we could focus our consciousness into being more complex than just a human. I could be a big star constellation if I wanted to or whatnot. I could focus my consciousness into that, or into being a star system or something if I wanted to. But as of now, I'm more focused on serving as being a human and everything and whatnot. But we could leave these bodies and go and do other stuff or whatnot. And this is pretty much just showing, like, me as a body, I am part of Sun Natura Ra's solar system. Like our sun and the earth, this whole solar system, and me as a human, I am a part of it. I'm an organ inside of that solar system. And Sun Natura Ra is an actual God, which is our sun, the whole solar system together. So I'm a body, I'm a piece of this solar system and whatnot. And this number system shows how we are related to nature, and how we actually come together in nature, and how our place in nature and how we relate to nature, opposed to a number system like 792. When you just see those numbers, it doesn't really show you a picture of relationship to nature. It's mostly just showing you that I don't even know who invented the number 7 or who invented the number 9 or whatnot, and decided to make it that shape, or decided to make the number 7 that shape or whatnot. How does the number 7 represent 7? It doesn't, from my point of view, it doesn't represent 7 at all. It's just a line and another line on top of a line, and it doesn't really represent 7. And it doesn't really, it just, the only reason we have to learn it is because some guy said it, and now everybody else go with that guy's, who I guess he was an important guy at some point in time, and he said that that's the number 7, and now everybody else is stuck with it now. But this is totally different. It's not about some guy's ego. This is about real references to nature and real representation of nature, and real showing us where we really are in nature, which is pretty important. Knowing who you are in nature, and it's pretty important for establishing your birthrights and everything too, is knowing exactly who you are and how you fit into nature or whatnot. And this number system is better in that way, because it actually allows for us to see who we are in nature and see where we are at exactly in nature, based on Fibonacci's, and based on the different complexities, levels of life or whatnot. This number system actually shows us exactly what is going on here and where we actually at in nature or whatnot. And that's why Kemetic ancestors could be so accurate or whatnot. When you looking at a number system like this and everything, you actually can see in full detail exactly what is going on. It's not just a ego representation or anything. This is actual real facts of how life forms and everything. Okay. Well, Ankh Uja Sinup, which means life, prosperity, and health. Morwit Hinudua means love, praise, and thanks. Naturu means nature. Pretty much saying thanks to nature for giving us this, and thanks to our ancestors giving us this divine knowledge and everything, and showing us how we relate to nature, and giving us a number system that allow for us to be more closely related to nature or whatnot. But again, we'll just review real quick exactly what I said about the about showing how it represents nature and everything, and how it represents the Fibonacci spiral. Pretty much we're just saying that this right here could be a 5. These two right here, 5 and 5 together, would equal these two right here together would equal 10. If each one of these represented 5, this would be 5 and this one would be 5. That'll be a total of 10. Then the Fibonacci spiral go on around, and once it breaches right here, once it goes right here, then at that point what we're dealing with is 100. If each one still equals 5, then we'll be dealing with 100 at this point. 100 worth of squares, each one is worth 5. Each one represents 5. Then we'll be dealing with 100 worth of squares at that point. Okay, that's pretty much showing why this inverted U shape, and why this spiral represents this inverted U shape represents 10, and then this spiral here, it represents 100, because it's each one 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. All these together be 100. Each one represent 5. So at this point it'd be 5 and 5, which would be 10, and then at this point it'd be 100 with all these squares together. And again, this is a real representation of life, like the star constellations, and pretty much when we look into nature, we see we see the Fibonacci spiral even over Africa here, and inside of nature. That's how nature develops. Like the reason why this Fibonacci spiral develops in nature so much is because it's pretty much the most efficient way to produce, to be productive, to grow. Like for example, if I wanted to if I was if you was a plant or whatnot, and you was starting to grow or whatnot, and the way you grow is in life or whatnot is like, if you actually claiming a plant actually looks into the soil, finds calcium, potassium, um nitrogen out of the air and nitrogen out of the soil, and different minerals that it find in order to make one plant cell. Then once you make one plant cell, then you able to make another plant cell. That's one and one. Now when those two plant cells working together, they combine the effort. These two working together can make two faster. Now at this point, now that you got one and two, then now you got two plus these ones right here working together, and they can make three a little bit faster. So they can produce three, and then all these working together can produce this number 5 up here. And then that's how the Fibonacci spiral shows up, because in life, when you actually producing or being productive or whatnot, and you building and you claiming or whatnot, as you create more life, then those life forms that you created, like me helping you learn about this and everything, then me and you work together on teaching another person. Then that other person working with us helps teach another person, and then that other person is helping all of us work together. We all working together teaching another person, and then that's how it grows from one person learn it, then teach another person, and then now 2 people know about it. Then those 2 people work together, and then they able to actually inform 2 other people about it fairly quickly. Then all these people working together can teach another person, and it pretty much can grow. That's how life grows in this Fibonacci spiral or whatnot. And that's the benefits of the Fibonacci spiral, and that's why you see the star constellations and Africa and plants and frogs and trees and everything's using that Fibonacci spiral, because it's the most efficient way to grow. It's almost like the only way to grow, as far as one does it right, then he can help another person or get it right and everything. Then those 2 got it right, and they can help a couple of more people get it right. Then all of them working together, all these right people working together, can help a lot more people get it right. Then all of those working together. So it's pretty much just that's the way life develops or whatnot. Natural life, the way natural life develops, which is different from the way in the Matrix, or the way they try to teach you in the Matrix, or in the way they go to school, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is more based on like Mickey D's or something, or a store or something. If you build yourself a McDonald's and you find one customer, then now you got to get another customer, then you got to get another customer, then you got to get another customer, and then it's not really kind of a Fibonacci spiral thing going on. It's more like a one. You got one, now you got to work and get another one, now you got to work and get another one, now you got to work and get another one, because each customer, those customers ain't not gonna really be sitting around start helping you or whatnot. They're not gonna stay there and start contributing to Mickey D's or whatnot. They come, they buy, they deal with you and whatnot, and then they leave. Well, here is in nature, when you developing, each one that you get is actually staying with you and helping you develop even more. So your power level is actually going up each time that you join forces with another or whatnot, and each one is together. So in a capitalist society, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but in nature you have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You have Fibonacci numbers in nature because each one is actually working together and contributing to each other.